Hello, good morning, everyone. I just want to give some insight. As you know, I'm not a real YouTuber. I just come on here to give my insight of things that have happened and so it can be documented. So I'm going to post the link for my ebook. It is free for you to download, so please take advantage of that. Let me post the link for you for the book. And I know you'll enjoy it and you will be blessed for reading it because I have some techniques in here. And I just want to start by saying this. I believe that a lot of things that are told to us about how to do certain practices or techniques, we are told things to pacify us, okay? We're not told how to actually do it. And I have some accounts here where, let me type this in. Okay. All right. So I guess I could go to where some better lighting. Okay, but I'm just gonna play some music right quick. I'm gonna turn off the camera and let people come into the room because before I start, I would really like for it to at least be a few people here. Um, Even though y'all can rewatch it or whatever. But I'm gonna turn on some music right now. Just a second.
Years later. How does that happen? Think about it. During the dream time, you have a crystal clear, full color dream. And whatever that is in that dream happens the next day, or next week, or the next month, or 10 years later. How does that happen? Think about it. I think that is experienced by almost every human at some point in their life. That's a sort of a signpost that says, you're not only what you think you are. All I'm going to do is help you remember who you really are and give you some techniques to facilitate the sharpening of that ability. You begin to practice that on a nightly basis, and as you do it, you will be stunned at how accurate you will become in getting that information. Pragya, the level where all things can be known. Everything can be known, past, present, future. What you have just heard, I would say a handful of people know, even in classified projects, is highly targeted. I'm going to share in a moment a few of these sort of techniques. Most people overthink it, but also they don't believe they can do it. And that's the beginning of programming yourself for failure. So what we want to do is hit the reset button, reprogram ourselves for success, for being able to do it. And all I'm going to do is help you remember who you really are and give you some techniques that facilitate the sharpening of that ability. That's really all I can do. The rest you're doing yourself. But this one I'm sharing right now is key to understanding the psychological and even dynamics of consciousness and how it can be manifested. The ability to be a seer of a dream. I'm not gonna lie. Switching mobile, was it life-changing? No. Was it smart? Yes. No place or no time into the future. They're all easily accomplished if you understand the science and the fundamental knowledge of consciousness, its nature. You're not only what you think you are, locked in the frame of your physical form in this time and place. You're actually connected in consciousness to every point in space and every point in time. And that includes right now, but going back, but going also forward, which is remote viewing into the future. This is something that has been unfortunately sort of relegated to mysticism, and a lot of thinking is that, well, you've got to be somebody living in a cave 50 years by yourself to experience this. It is absolutely a harmful myth that I think ecclesiastical and spiritual leaders this monkey on our shoulders going, oh, I'm just a little dumb thing and I'm just stuck right here on earth. It's just you're telling yourself that lie over and over again, and that becomes its own destiny. Because if you have a different understanding of who and what you are, that is, you are a conscious being capable of connecting to this field of consciousness that's beyond space and time. The reason that the need for elements of the intelligence community don't want to publish is that, first of all, it is extremely efficient spycraft, which they won't always detect. Secondly, they know that if people understood the power of consciousness, they would be able to completely change the direction of the planet. You can see any place, you see any point in time, you need to understand that this is your innate capability as a higher intelligent life. Once you reach a critical mass of intelligence and consciousness, you can understand this and routinely see remote places and see distant times. That's how I think you should begin to think of how your life can be guided and your relationships at work and family can be guided. Very intuitive. Those of you who are critical, remember that there's science and there's objective knowledge and intellect, and then there's consciousness that can sense and feel and know. And if you develop this ability, you will save lives. And in your normal everyday work, whoever you are, I mean, you're a teacher and you're dealing with a student, intuiting what that person needs and what you need to teach. Are you following this? Be with me for a moment. And what I'd like to do now is just do an experiment taking you through these steps. And you can do this at home. If you're in a group of 3 or 4 people, get a box or a basket and here are the steps to it. Step 1, if you're going to not just do it on the fly instantly, you go into this quiet state of meditation and forget about targeting what you're doing. Just stick with the process of experiencing the awake mind and do the meditation technique using either the breathing technique or the mantra or both, or whatever fires your rocket. You're in a deep, quiet state. Instead of guessing what is in the box, just let your mind rest on it and ask to know what it is. You might see it, you might get the word for it, you may get an aspect of it. The key thing is to not intellectualize it or have sort of just guessing like some kind of parlor trick or kindergarten game. And that's what most people do. So you have to kind of be brutally honest with yourself. Am I sensing this or I'm just guessing? Now, initially, you may not know. Your mind may start pulling in all sorts of things. The other thing to understand is that what the mind does, here's the trick, and this is the real art and science of this. When you begin to sense something, you will begin to get something that is an accurate, objectively true, remote view data point. And then the mind will start doing the monkey mind thing and leapfrog ahead of the process of just sensing and knowing what it is and filling in the blanks from your memory store. How do you distinguish and discern the difference? Practice. Because the more you practice it, the more you're going to realize when you're doing that and when you're not. And I will say this, if you do this often enough, this technique I just described with a box or something else where you don't know what it is, you'll begin to know what it feels like in your heart and your gut when it's an accurate perception. And you'll know what it feels like when it was just something that your mind began to confabulate and make up. Dream time. I mentioned this before you went to bed. You're asleep. As you're going to sleep, get a journal, keep some by your bedside. And begin to affirm to yourself that you can have lucid dreaming. Be awake within the dream. And you can travel to places and know things in that state. You can begin to practice that on a nightly basis. And as you do it, it'll begin to go up and up and up in accuracy. I have found that if you're in a very deep, relaxed state or even taking a nap, but you just gently intend as you're going in and out of the dream state or the sleep state or in and out of the quiet meditative state to know something. It's an intending. And then just relax and let it flow into you and get yourself out of the way. So get your intellect and ego out of the way. It'll pop in like that. The other is when you're going to sleep, or mostly when you're waking up, you're coming out of sleep into the waking state, but you're kind of in that drowsy, half awake, half asleep state, but you're rested. At that juncture, the junction between dream and sleep and waking, when you're relaxed, intend to know something. Ask at how accurate you will become in getting that information. Practice the remote viewing every day, every minute of every day. Be in a mindful state. When you're relaxed, intend to know something. Ask to see something. Ask to have a problem solved. You will be stunned at how accurate you will become in getting that information. Practice the remote viewing every day, every minute of every day. Be in a mindful state. Develop at least twice to 3 times a day this practice of deep quiet meditation, remote viewing practice, and you'll be stunned at how quickly you advance.
Okay, so I'm gonna just talk a little bit about myself right quick, then I'm gonna get off. Like I said, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just here to tell and document what happened and promote my ebook. So I've used the same technique before, and I got bone chilling results to the point that I don't know, like he said, stunned. I was stunned. Okay, and I used the techniques in this video. So it's a little box that both of my children have where they write their prayers in. And it's just a prayer. It's not. It's a prayer box. Like you write down. It has little pretty sheets of paper inside the little tin box. And I got them at the dollar store. They were $1, and they have little notepads inside with a real pretty colorful notepad and a little pencil inside of that tin box. And you can write down your prayers or what you're grateful for and put it in the box. And it's an exercise that I teach my kids to write their prayers down and put it in the box and let God, that way you're putting it in God's hands. And every prayer that my children have put in that box have been answered because it boosts up the faith. But I'm not talking about that technique right now. I'm talking about this particular technique that I learned from this video that I just shared with you all. And the technique that I used, I did exactly what he said do for the remote viewing. Okay. It's a lot of people on the internet talking about remote viewing and whatever, and they're just talking. Okay. They're just talking. I can tell they're just talking because I don't resonate with them. And they're regurgitating and repeating what they heard somebody else say that sounded like uh, a viable buzzword to use. And I'm not doing that. And it took me a long time to find that one video that I just showed you that actually showed how to do uh, an ESP technique. Now, there's a suppression of ESP techniques on the internet. They don't really want us to know how to use ESP. Okay, they don't want us to know how to use it because if we did, we would cure most of humanity's ills within a week. And they really don't want us to get along. They don't want us to live harmoniously. They don't want that. Okay, I'll talk about that another day, but I have proof on that. They don't want us to get along. They don't want us to learn from one another. They want us to hate each other, and they want us to be poor. They want us to, and they want to control. Okay, so by using the techniques in the video, I can assure you that what I'm telling you is real. So let's proceed with what happened to me. Okay, so I was, let me play a little music with this. Okay. Okay, so the little tin box I'm telling you about that we got from the dollar store. Okay, what I did was, well, my children, they keep little trinkets in there, like little small toys, little objects or whatever. And it's not just a notepad and pencil in there. It's just little trinkets and stuff, little small toys that they put in there. Hello, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. Bless me. I blew the paper off the thing. Okay, so I'll go outside and talk about this, whereas the lighting is better. Ugh. Okay. Okay, so this is what happened. I used the technique. It's noisy out here. Okay. Like I said, I'm not really a YouTuber, so just work with me, okay? I'm just documenting what happened to me. It's cold out here, but lighting is good. Okay, so focused on that box. I focused on the box and I tried to saying my connection is unstable. Okay. I guess I can sit at my desk and turn the lamp on. Yeah, that's better. I just didn't want to get up off the couch, to be honest. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Let's talk. So, all right. So, what I did was I visualized the little tin thing, the little tin case. I visualized it in my mind. And as I did, I made myself. It's like I asked the box, "What is in? Can you please tell me what's in there? Can you please tell me what's inside?" Um, just one thing. I want you to point out one thing that's contained with inside of your box. So I asked in my mind because quantumly speaking, and from a scientific viewpoint, we are connected with everything. So I asked the box in my mind, what is inside of you? And just tell me one thing. You don't have to tell me everything. Just tell me one thing, one significant thing inside of you. Just one. And a few seconds later, I'm just visualizing again what happened so I can tell the story properly. So I thought about it. And then the first thing that popped in my mind was a golden cross. And it was shining. And it was glowing. Golden. Like gold. It was a cross and it was a small cross, but it was just glowing. It was glowing. It had a glow. It had this divine heavenly glow. And I just thought to myself, because I do remember I prayed before I did it, and I said, "Thank you, God," and I thought that was God showing me His presence in the moment. So I said, "Okay, box, can you just tell me?" I was like, "God, let me, be successful at this exercise." So I said, so I started trying to focus on the box, and I started like, "What's inside? What's inside of you?" And it just kept, it just kept. I just kept seeing a cross, and it was golden. It was golden. It was just shining, shining, shining. It was like uh, a shiny gold color. It was like the most beautiful gold color, like a glow. And so I was like, so I did this, I guess, for about 5 minutes or so, and it just kept. So I walked over to my inside my desk because they keep their boxes inside my desk where I'm sitting at now. So I reached inside my desk drawer and got their gratitude and prayer boxes out where they keep their little trinkets. And and I opened up the box that I was focused on. And inside that box was a small red felt cross. Yeah. So these techniques work. Download my book, it's free. As you can see, I'm a regular. I'm supernaturally lit by the Most High God. And He's put it on my heart and my mind to share my experiences in some form, whether people watch or don't watch or whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, I've been obedient to God and I've shared the gift. I've shared the testimony and and I've documented everything. So I'm out here. I'm out. Peace, love, and blessings. I'm out.